The first thing they said to me in Sitsatsweni over OJT was, "Please, Cece, eat these guavas. There are so many and they will all go bad if we don't eat them now." Later, they told me that winter is hard for them because there's no food and the OBCs will be hungry. They asked me to pray with them that the rain would come soon. When I got back on the bus heading here to IDM, my mind was racing. I knew already that I wanted my first project to be food preservation. I brought my counterpart and eventual best friend, Nambuso, to PDM, which we finished with a clear plan and big dreams. The Monday after PDM, we called someone at the Ministry of Agriculture, and let's call her now Mage Sidle, to find out how we could get her to our little community to train 25 RHMs in food preservation practices. She asked us to come in and meet with her, and we set a date. She kept canceling, but we weren't idle. We applied for and were awarded a mini-VAST grant. We met with the participants and decided what dates we'd like the training to be. We kept calling, and we waited. In March, we met with Mage Sidle. She told us the only money she needed was a per diem for lunch and a transport stipend, but the training itself was free. We looked through the recipes and selected ones for vegetable achar, banana chutney, mango jam, and papaya juice. The training would be 2 days, with one focused on proper canning and sanitary practices, and one actually for the cooking itself. We set a date quickly because summer was winding down. We met again with the RHMs and chose who would bring the three-legged pots, the dish soap, the cabbage, the green beans, the papaya, the mangoes, the guavas, the bananas, and so on. I used the grant money to buy ingredients that couldn't be locally grown, like white sugar, cooking oil, cayenne pepper, and vinegar. Nambuso shopped with me and we talked again and again through the recipes and our plans for this training. We were so excited. The goal was to not only have the RHMs be trained, but to have them each train 5 people in their catchment areas with a priority on OBCs. We talked about selling the products and starting a savings group. We talked about doing nutritional sessions to help people use their products effectively during the winter. We talked about later training people on how to harvest honey. We dreamed of calling a Swatini kitchen to get our products in Pick and Pay. While we dreamed, Mage Sidle canceled, and canceled again, and again. Between Easter and the King's birthday and family events and ministry obligations, the months passed. The mangoes went out of season. The bananas went too, and the papaya went soon after that. We asked Peace Corps to call for us, and the stories Mage Sidle was telling them did not match what she was telling us. We were frustrated, and this dream that started in July was slowly slipping away as the rain stopped falling. Then, out of the blue, Mage Sidle called and said she could come, but only tomorrow and only at 8 o'clock in the morning. It was almost June, and we didn't want to wait even one more day. We called the RHMs, and they were both excited and accommodating. We reassigned fruits and reselected recipes. I ran to Steggy to get cabbage and carrots and other things that were no longer growing in my gardens. We brought bread and Oreos to feed the participants, and we were ready. The training was condensed into one day and held under the big tree in the middle of the community. It was excellent. We used empty mayonnaise jars for canning, and we made guava jam, papaya juice, and vegetable achar. We started following up with RHMs weeks later and found that although a few were still making products in their homes, they hadn't passed on the training. Those that were making jam and achar were only making the products for personal consumption. They seemed eager to join a savings group with Nambuso, but she became wary as she realized that she would bear the majority burden of the work. If you look at numbers, this project was a failure. In Peace Corps, however, the numbers don't tell the whole story. The narrative of Nambuso's personal success makes every stressful day and the frustration over typing 0 again and again in the VRF completely worth it. Nambuso learned on her own to harvest honey, and she started selling honey, jam, and achar. She sold in the community at first. She made small tubs of jam and sold them for 10 emolangeni at the primary school along with her fat cakes. The students would split the jam with the cakes, and she was selling out every single day. Her achar was sold by taking orders. Eventually, she had to take orders for all of her products and was still struggling to keep up with the demand. She expanded her selling through her sister, and they got her products in the Manzini bus rank. I sold them to the Peace Corps office and other PCBs. And you can ask, that guava jam is delicious. It's been 2 years since that training, and in that time, Nambuso has used her profits to go to college. She now has a degree in psychosocial support, which she did through distance learning at Uniswa, so she could continue working throughout the week. She and her husband built a brand new homestead, and they moved there with their 5-year-old son, Snatemba. She sent Snatemba to a better school in Stegi. Her hard work, dedication, and perseverance changed her life. Someone once told me that in Peace Corps, we plant trees whose shade we will never enjoy. I hope that as people watch Nambusa's success, they are inspired to adopt proper food preservation practices. Maybe my Seaflay can do a refresher training. Maybe the RHF will start training OBCs. Maybe one day those products will be on the shelves of Pick and Pay. My best practice wasn't this project. The best thing I did here was to let go, step back, and let my counterpart shine. If your counterpart and your community don't have the will or the interest or the passion to do a project without your leadership, then it will fail when you leave. Trust your counterparts to be leaders. Listen to them and offer advice and mentorship, but don't substitute your dreams for theirs when it comes to your vision of the community. Take time and build relationships and be patient. The projects will come to you. The counterparts will come to you. After 2 years, the memories, successes, friendships, and love will never leave you. Your service is what you choose to make it. Choose to make it.